Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Married Now Widowed. We're your hosts. I'm Kayla.
And I'm Nadine, and this podcast is about navigating life after loss through unfiltered conversations.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
We hope you enjoyed last week's Q&A.
Yes, it was episode 20, by the way.
Yeah, I know. How exciting. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. 20 episodes in. Wow. Last week when we put up the question box, we got a really good question that we thought we'd dedicate an entire episode to.
Yeah, I feel like that question
needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
One entire episode dedicated to Kayla.
Yeah. Oh, yay. Okay, so the question was, can Kayla talk more about her experience with pregnancy whilst her husband was sick and the IVF process? Was she alone during the birth? Was it a stressful pregnancy, etc.?
And I feel like that is a really good question because, you know, we've spoken about this previously, how you've received a lot of negative, you know, comments from people
About the decision.
About the decision you made. Yeah. And for those that are, you know, listening for the first time, Kayla decided, her and her husband decided to go through IVF while he was sick to have a baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a lot of the negative, or not a lot, but you did receive some, you know, negative feedback from people, and that was obviously it would have affected you. But anyway, we'll get into that. Yeah. And so I felt that it would be a good thing for us to dedicate a whole episode on that, because you know it gives you a chance to explain the whole process.
Yeah, and I think IVF is a big topic in general, right?
Definitely, definitely.
I think it needed more than like a few minutes per question.
That's right.
Where do we start with this?
So how about we start with, so when was it into Mohammed's cancer journey? Yeah. When did you guys decide to have a baby?
So I think, Mohammed, I think he had cancer for about 7 years in total, right? And I think
that was before you met Mohammed.
Yeah, before I met him. So he was sick when I met him. I think it was just a natural thing after we got married, really. Like it wasn't really like a big discussion, and I never wanted to make it a thing like, oh, should we do this because you're sick? Like I hated that sort of stuff.
Course.
Like I didn't want to make any decision based on
his sickness.
That
would be negative as well, right?
I just didn't want to make him feel that way, because I don't know, I can't imagine being in that position with someone that I love and them hesitant to do something with me. I remember once someone wanted to go into business with him, but they were like, oh, look, let's just wait until you're cured. Well, cured is a weird word, or cleared or whatever, until we make those decisions, because ultimately, like, I don't want to go into business with you and then you die, which I do understand, like, from a, like, really thinking.
I don't know if I understand that. And I'll tell you why. Because like you said, Mohammed's cancer journey was quite a lengthy one. It was 7 years, right? Yeah. And you said it. You've said it before. You've said it in previous episodes where there were times where he was okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. But I think that females think like with their heart and from an emotional point of view.
Yeah, but was this person a female?
No. You think I'd let Mohammed go into business with a female?
I'm just asking.
Don't be silly. No, it was a male. And I feel like men use their, like, I don't know, they're just not emotional thinkers. So I feel like it was, that's where that was coming from.
Okay.
But I remember.
How did that make him feel?
You know, I don't know. I don't think he didn't show me that he cared a lot, but surely it affects you a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But he was kind of like chill about it, and he was like, yeah, you know, he just wants to, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of like, what a fucking shit person. Like, I can't believe he said that, you know, that's whatever. And so things like that, I just never wanted to make him feel like, I just wanted it to be normal. I wanted to make him feel like you're normal, you're a normal person. We're going to do things as if you weren't sick. Yeah. You know?
Question, had you guys discussed having children prior to getting married?
Yeah, definitely. Because we were both, neither of us had kids before. If we were going to get married, it was just like naturally the next step. I think culturally as well. It was just, you know, the next thing to do. So we got married and started thinking about having kids and thought about our options. Obviously, well, not obviously, but with him, because he was on so many different medications and chemo and radiation and whatever, you can't conceive naturally whilst being on all those toxic drugs. So we knew we had to go through IVF if it was something that we wanted to do. His oncologist advised us against it. I mean, she advised us against everything, getting married, going on holidays. She was just like, you know, don't do any of that. So she was super anti.
She advised you against getting married?
100%. Yeah.
Why?
Because like she was so straight out. You know how they are. Like they're pretty black and white. And she was just like, do you want to marry someone that's not going to be around
Did she say this to you in front of him?
Both in front and one-on-one. Yeah. I mean, she legally, anything that's discussed about him has to be said in front of him, but he was okay.
But that's more of a personal opinion.
One-on-one time. Yeah, it is a personal opinion.
That's not a
but
medical opinion. It's a personal opinion, not medical.
No. Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, it comes from a medical place.
No, it doesn't,
though.
but it's not up to people.
No,
it's not up to doctors to advise their patients whether they should get married or not.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not a medical opinion.
No,
you're not giving your medical opinion to your patient.
Yeah, but she was using her medical knowledge when it comes to how long she thinks he has left to live.
Yeah, but you already know that. So that's up to the both of you to make that decision.
Because I was young at the time as well. Don't forget, really young.
Yeah.
So I think she just wanted to make sure I knew what I was getting myself into per se.
Yeah.
So she even advised us against our holiday. She was like, are you okay with them having to emergency land the plane and you have to front the cost for the airline because he's going to die on that plane?
Oh, she said that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, are you ready for that? Because you're going to go there, if you even make it there, and you'll bring him back. He'll be underneath the plane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was like so sure that he would not survive our holiday because we wanted to plan like a really big holiday because he didn't really know what the future held for him. And so we told her, like, look, we're looking at going overseas, like a good time, maybe 6-7 weeks, you know, like what do we have to do to prepare? And she was like, hell no way. Like, do not do that. You will not come back alive. So
question.
Yeah.
So when did you tell her that you wanted to try and have a child?
Probably when we decided, I think, when we were like, yeah, let's start looking into IVF, we had to tell her straight away.
And at that time, did they give Mohammed a prognosis?
Yeah, but they had given him many and he always outlived. Always,
Okay, and so if they had given him many, why was the decision, for example, not to travel? Like, why was her opinion to you guys not to travel if he had outlived?
So I tell you the issue with traveling, what it was. Number one, we're away from our team. So our medical team. We're on the other side of the world. They can't help us. When we're at home, if he has to be rushed to hospital or something happens, he's swelling up or he's whatever, they're right there on call 24/7.
At that time when you wanted to, I know we were meant to talk about IVF.
Yeah.
And we will get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there, yeah.
But at the time that you were going to Dubai, what was the prognosis then?
Probably, I think it was, we actually had to write a letter to Emirates actually. So, and I think in the letter it said 3 to 6 months, I'm pretty sure.
Why did they make you write a letter to Emirates?
Why did we have to do that? I think we had to tell them the patient that we have on the plane, like that his condition is so serious, and just so all the flight attendants knew, the pilots knew, the crew, everyone knew about him. Because look, as much as Mohammed looked great, and as I always say, he did have good days, his condition was serious, very serious, right? His body was riddled with tumours. And as you know, well, Mick was the cancer wasn't a long period of time, but cancer always brings every other health risk under the sun, right? And radiation causes a bunch of issues. Medication causes a bunch of issues. So we never even went to hospital or went to the doctors or anything really for the cancer. It was all for the side
other
effects,
issues,
right?
That's right, yeah.
So it's risky to fly like that. I get where she was coming from. It was definitely risky. 100% it was. But we made that decision to do so, and I'm so glad we did.
Of course, because you have memories.
Absolutely, very, very special memories as a family.
That's right.
So she advised us against everything. When we wanted to start the IVF process, we had to obviously notify her. Like, she knew everything about our life. She was close to us, right?
Yeah.
So, we let her know that this is what we're thinking of doing. She's like, don't do it. We're like, why? And she's basically like, do you want to be in the birthing unit on your own? Like, that's what's going to happen. He's not going to survive. Do you want to raise a kid by yourself? Do you want, he's not going to see your kid.
So she was very black and white about how 100%, long he would survive.
Because, I don't like to use the word ridiculous because it was so incredible, and thank God that he survived the time that he did. But it was, to them, ridiculous. You keep outliving everything we know. I'll never forget, we went to a specialist because we were considering cutting off his leg. And the specialist, this guy has been doing this stuff for 30, 40 years. He's done every amputation that you'll know in Sydney. He's done it, right? And he was to us, he's we have a book as medical experts, right? He goes, the whole book is written and it ends, and you're after the end.
Wow.
I don't know what to say to you. I don't know. You're just a strange patient. You've outlived everything that we've been taught. So we don't know what to do with you now because you're off the scale when it comes to clear cell sarcoma patients. You should have been dead years ago. We don't know what to do with you anymore. So now we're just trialing things on you. You're our experiment, right? We had journalists from other states wanting to come to our house just to interview him because he's just it's so rare what he's how far he's come. So he was amazing, right? So she was like, no, he's not going to be around, blah, blah, blah. We wanted to go ahead with it anyway. And I was always under the whole mindset of, doctors aren't God, so they can't really say that you're definitely going to die. I know there's a chance. I'm not stupid. And number two, I don't want to treat him like that. I want to give him a chance to have a child, experience fatherhood. It's something, my husband was always like that. He always wanted to get married, have kids, have a family. That's just what he had in him. That's what he wanted to do with himself, So I wanted to give that to him. And that's where it comes in with the whole, was it a selfish decision to make? Because I was making it on the basis of me and him, not my son. So we decided, we're going to do it. And we started the process, basically. So IVF is difficult. It's hard, very, very hard. Physically hard, right? So on your body as a female. Of
course.
Really hard. We were lucky enough that Mohammed had sperm from just when he got diagnosed. So his sperm wasn't from now when he was cancer riddled and chemical riddled.
Okay, so question. So he had been diagnosed 7 years prior.
Yeah.
And he made the decision.
The doctor advised him, thank God, at the time. He said, first thing I'm going to tell you is go and
Because they do. When you're sitting in that specialist office, they ask you if you have children, if you're married.
Yeah. And he's like, just in case, because we don't know where this is going to go. And you don't want to lose the opportunity of one day having children. So thankfully,
he had already
his
taken
sperm
this.
was really healthy, so it was great. And I was obviously young, so we were a good combination for, you know, hopefully only one round of IVF, because IVF is hard, and I have a lot of friends who have to do multiple rounds. A lot of clients, I hear so many stories, and it's so hard. Like, I feel so like sorry for people, because it is hard, and especially when you really want something. But I don't know, we were lucky enough to get it done. Happened the first round, which thank God, because it was a lot on my body. Like it was hard. It was really, really hard. But Mohammed was amazing throughout that. Like so supportive. So he was just so great. Like,
how long did the process take?
It took, I can't remember exactly, but it was a solid few months. I would say maybe 6 months from getting there.
Because you have to prep your body and stuff.
Oh, it's hard. Yeah. Inject yourself, testing. I mean, I think we're at the clinic once every 2 to 3 days, just checking my bloods. And, you know, I can't tell you how many times we went to that clinic. Like, it was just routine, you know. But as I said, I can't complain. I'm so grateful. Other people are doing this for years. So it was relatively easy for us.
Yeah.
So, we did that. It worked out, thankfully. And then,
when you came to give birth, how sick was he at that point?
Really sick. I mean, he was really sick for you wouldn't tell. That's the thing with him. You wouldn't know. And I remember even when he passed away, my clients were freaking out. Like when they were like, when I had come back to work and, you know, they were like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. They were like, sorry, like, I don't know if this is inappropriate, but what happened? He looked amazing. Like, and it was because we had just come back from our holiday, right? So everyone was seeing like my posts and stuff, and he was like, babe, jet skiing in the middle of the ocean, like totally, you would not know. You wouldn't know. But he was definitely still suffering. Like, he had issues with his legs, and, you know, his medication was insane, like what he was taking and what he was on and everything he had to do. It was hard work for him, you know. He was really sick at the time. Like, tumors everywhere you can imagine, liver, arms, legs, at that stage, brain, everything, everywhere you can imagine, throat, everywhere, like riddled with tumors, insane. And you'd just see them, like, you know, he'd just be feeling his leg and there's another tumor.
Oh, wow, that bad.
Yeah, really, really bad. Obviously the internal ones were via scans, but we'd feel them all the time. On his arm, a tumor would grow. Like, it was insane. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know mentally how people that are sick
go through that.
Like, it's so hard on them, you know. He was really sick, but he didn't show it a lot, especially to me, because you know what's funny? Even in that moment, like, at the end of the day, I'm just pregnant. I'm not, you know, it's everyone falls pregnant. Billions of women do this. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just pregnant. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm nauseous. I'm whatever. Pregnancy is hard and that period is hard, whatever. But you're really suffering. Like, you're dying essentially. But still, it was all about me, all about making sure I'm okay. Did not put himself first at all, and put his body through hell in that time period just to be okay for me, be there for me. But like, he was incredible. There was a question on my Instagram about, you know, did you feel supported through that time because he was sick and obviously dealing with his own stuff? You wouldn't have even known that he was sick. You would not have even known.
Because of the support he gave you.
Totally. Like, he was incredible throughout everything.
Wow.
Always prioritized me no matter what. I'm sitting there complaining that I'm nauseous or I'm this and I'm that. He was feeling like a billion times worse than me 24/7, but it was still all about me. What can I get you? What do you need? What's your craving? What can I do? He was incredible.
So during your pregnancy, was he going through treatment as well?
Yeah, absolutely. He was going through treatment since I met him.
Right.
Like, we were always doing something, a trial drug, chemo, radio, immunization, like immunotherapy, everything, constantly, tablets. And not just that, there's the other side of it. I don't know what Mick was like with pain, but there's all those pain meds which fucking take a massive toll on you.
I remember we went to his doctor because he was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And he was giving him endone.
Yeah, yeah.
And like he'd finish it and then we'd go back there.
It's nothing.
His doctor ended up calling Canberra to get like approval for like the highest amount of endone. Yeah. And it was something like, look, don't quote me, but it was something like 16 boxes. Or something like that of endone, right? And literally rang Canberra. We were sitting in the office and they asked him why. And he was like, it's a cancer patient. Yeah. Approved it. They give you like an approval number and then he hands you the script.
Yeah, cancer pain is no joke. Yeah. It is no joke. I remember like...
And that's, I'm saying when he was going through chemo. That's not when you're in hospital and they're giving you morphine.
Yeah. I remember they gave him, I can't remember what it was. It was like, I don't know if you know what, I can't remember what it's called. It's actually a horse tranquilizer.
Oh.
Do you know what that's called?
Yeah.
It's ketamine?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like full on stuff. Yeah. Like endones were like lollies for him and there was no effect either. Like he'd take so many and I'd be more tired or nothing.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
So he was, you know, he was going through it, obviously. You know, it didn't stop for him the whole time. Like it never stops. He never got a break from anything. So
you were obviously pregnant.
Yeah.
Whilst Mohammed was going through his treatments. So then when you came to give birth, what was he like?
I think there were a few hospital stays while I was pregnant because I remember waddling over with my big belly and you know my in-laws were always worried about me, like, no, go home, or you know, don't, even him, like, don't drive. Like there was like a few really rainy days, like I'm like, you know, heavily pregnant, don't drive to come and see it. But I couldn't. Of course. I had to be there every single day. I'm so stubborn like that. I'm so stubborn, you know. So we did a few hospital stays while I was pregnant. It was hard work, but you know what? Nothing compared to what he was going through. So I can't even like, and I'd do it all over again.
Yeah,
so
of course.
Anyway, we got through that. And then my son didn't want to come out. So I had to be induced. So at least we're a little bit more prepared, right? So we, you know, packed our stuff normal, went to the hospital, everything normal. And I think from being awake, from him being awake for so long with me, because I think my contraction started at like, 8 p.m. or something like that. And it obviously went till the next day and whatnot. And he was awake, attentive and everything. He started getting, like, his health really started declining while we were in.
Oh, like, really?
Yeah. So he doesn't have he has a lot of lymph nodes missing because a lot of them had cancer. So a lot of them had been removed over the past like 7 years. So obviously swelling's an issue for him. And I think it was just lack of sleep and probably adrenaline and just a whole bunch of things. Stress. Being in a different environment, you know, in a hospital, like in your room, they don't really have a bed. They've just got a little area to lay on. So, you know, all that stuff. His health really started declining.
What was he experiencing?
Oh, he was so fucked, the poor thing. Like that's the only word I could use. Yeah, he was just fucked. So his legs started swelling really badly. Like even the nurses were like, oh God, like we don't know what to do. Like maybe you should go home for a little bit. He's like, no chance at all. And so I gave birth eventually. Yeah. And he was just so in awe of our son. he was so funny. So obviously it's our first child. We don't know what we're doing. They're tiny, right? They're so small. You think they're not breathing. You get scared about everything. He sat over that clear thing that they're in.
The bassinet?
Is it a bassinet?
Yeah.
Okay, the clear box, I call it. He watched my son for like 12 hours, babe. The nurse was like, Mohammed, you need to sit down. Like he's not going anywhere.
Oh, wow.
He's okay, babe. He could not. He just wanted to protect him. It was so cute.
Wow.
I was like out of it.
That's beautiful.
Like, I'm exhausted. I'm like, whatever. He just was just in awe of everything, was the happiest he had been in his whole life. So that caused him so many health issues, right? So we had the baby. We stayed in the hospital for a few days. And then when we got home, his health issues just got worse. Like I think it was the lack of sleep when you bring a newborn home, and he was just really bad. He got really sick at one stage and he was just bad.
What was he
in a really bad way. I can't remember exactly, but it was just, I think his body just was like giving up, was like, I can't do this. You're not letting me sleep. I can't do this, and was just sort of giving up. And I can't remember exactly what happened, but I remember I think I called some doctors to the house. I called my in-laws over as well, because obviously Hader was a newborn. I was by myself with my husband. And, I remember one of my in-laws was like to him, oh, why don't you just come and stay at our house just to give yourself, and I was all for it. I'm like, go stay at your mum's, give yourself, 48 hours, rest, do what you need, and then come back. He's like, no chance am I leaving you here. No way, like no way. And I was like, okay. And eventually he got better, like not, in that condition anymore. And then we had a really, really good, few months, I would say, together. We did our trip, and then he passed away, I think about 2 months after our trip, or just under 2 months after our trip. So really, like,
when you said he got better a couple months, for a couple months after that.
I use the term lightly.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Still doing treatment.
Absolutely. Can't stop treatment. Can never. We tried a lot of things, We thought, should we go down the natural path? Yeah. Should we do this? Should we do that? When you're at that stage,
you will do anything.
You do the most wild things. Like you're doing crazy shit, you know. No red meat, no sugar, no this, no that. But
I remember we went and saw a naturopath.
Yeah.
And it was when he first got diagnosed, and we went, like, we'd spoken to the specialists, whatever.
Yeah.
But then we're like, before we start chemo or whatever, let's go see a naturopath.
Yeah.
And they literally said, like, we can cure you, but you cannot do chemo.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like you sit down,
I know,
and it's like, what path do you take?
I know, because you're playing with your life.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
The problem is we have access. Well, not the problem. It's good and it's bad, but we have access to so much on the internet, right?
Yeah.
People, their stories, their experiences, Google, people that write Google articles, people that write whatever, right? And so you hear so many different things. You're hearing, don't do chemo, it's going to kill you. You're hearing, and it's hard, right? Because a lot of people said, don't do chemo. Do not do chemo, whatever you do. And then it's like, okay, we're not going to do chemo. And then you go and sit down with your oncology team and they're like,
you're stupid.
Okay, you're going to die.
Chemo.
That's fine. Don't do it, but it's at your own risk and you'll be dead in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what the fuck do you do? What is the answer?
That's
do you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what to do, so you just try and do your best. But it is hard. Like, especially chemo is a big one. Like,
it is, definitely.
So many people are against it, right? But it's like, I don't know. What do you do? Do you risk it? Do you try then? Like, I don't know. And it's it's hard as well, I think, at Mohammed's stage where it's like totally like everywhere. We're not curing one lump. We're talking about your entire body. So it's like,
filled with it.
It's hard.
So he was Okay, so after you came out of hospital and after you had your son, he was okay-ish compared to what he normally was.
Look, the giving birth time and that time when he got, I think it was just exhaustion. Yeah. I think when you're a cancer patient, probably at that stage, your body can't handle exhaustion like that very well. Yeah, you know. So I think that just. Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah. Oh, no, they get tired really easily.
Yeah, for sure. But the whole IVF process with him in general, because I know that's what the questions have been in relation to, good. Yeah. Good. Hard, but good. Yeah. And you know what? There's harder things in life, so I'm not going to complain. But it was hard. It is hard on a female's body, what you go through and the injections and the way that your hormones play up and the way that you feel. And it's hard, right?
Yeah, of course.
And I think plus going through, is my husband going to die on top of that?
So how did you feel going through that?
Look, I was really positive. Honestly, I was very, because he kept beating all of their predictions. I was very, very positive. And I was like, you'd probably feel this way too. Anyone would that has someone that's sick close to them. You think you become an oncologist as well. So you think you're doing all this stuff. So I'm there like looking at scans like, oh, well, the one on the elbow left. So that's really good. So now we've just got the one in the neck. And if we can shrink that a little bit, we're onto it. Like it's working. And then you get the next scan and you've got another 5 tumors and you're like, it's okay. You just become a little bit
obsessed with it, right?
Very obsessed with it. And I think that, look, I always wanted to help him fight, even when we were just dating, like even just boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. I was still super passionate about, we're going to cure you. What are we going to do? What do we do? Let's do stuff. Let's go to the UK. I used to ring doctors overseas all the time. Like I told you on another episode, like a lunatic, they used to be like, oh, see you later. Like, you're even part of our healthcare system. I'm like, no, but I've got a really interesting person here, you know?
So, and interesting because he outlived every prognosis that they gave him.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, it was hard. Like it was hard, but I was so positive, babe. I was like, I think, and a lot of people can probably relate. You never think it's going to happen to you. You don't always see things happen to people, but you don't think it's going to happen to you.
That's exactly right. And I think also you don't really have that much time to think about the negative.
No, and why would you want to sit there and spend your time thinking about that?
Like all of your time and energy, you are investing into this person who is your soulmate.
Trying to fight for their life.
Exactly. Yeah. You're investing it into, motivating them 100%, and giving them so much positivity that you don't really have time to think about it.
Definitely not.
To think, did it cross my mind? I'm sure I know it did. Would have crossed your 100%, mind as well, right?
Absolutely.
And so when I think you get these questions or used to get these questions, people, saying, but why would you if he's going to die?
Yeah.
Like, I just think that what would you do?
Yeah.
Kiss the microphone. Yeah. What would you do if you were in that position? Because let me tell you, all of these people that have made those comments or remarks, they would be doing the exact same thing that you did.
And you know what? I always say this. I say it in every single episode almost, and I always say it in general to people. When you make comments like that, I know you don't know, and I'm glad you don't know because you obviously haven't been in that position, so you don't get it. And I'm happy for you that you don't get it because it's not a position that you ever want to find yourself in.
But that's the thing, like, I'm sure when you heard that the first time, did that not affect you?
No,
it didn't?
No, because you know me, when I want to do something, nothing can get in the way of what I want to do. So it didn't affect me. I just feel
like... Were people saying it to your face?
Yeah, totally. People that were coming from a
caring.
Not mean. No, mean came after. Mean was after, like, when he died. Oh, but you knew. Oh, so why would you? Can I just, like, because when they think, oh, it's okay, time to ask, they think, oh, years passed. She's over it now, so we'll ask her now. Why would you do that though if you knew he was going to die? That came after. During was, have you thought about what your life's going to look like as a single mom? Have you thought about, all that stuff?
That, I think it's coming from a place of concern.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. But again, I was never going to not do anything based on his sickness. I wasn't going to not give him the same opportunities that every other male gets. I couldn't. I wanted him to feel completely normal. Everything I wanted to be normal, whether it was getting married, whether it was a holiday, whether it was anything. I just wanted him to feel normal and not feel like I can't do that because I'm sick. What a shit feeling because I'm sick. That's always what it was for him, because I'm sick. Oh, that's that sick guy, that guy. Like, it's always around that, especially when you're that sick for that long. The whole world ends up knowing that you're that sick guy.
That's right.
It's nearly been a decade of you being that sick guy. And I don't know. I just didn't want him to feel that from me. Everyone else could treat him like that. That's fine. But I was going to treat you completely normal. We're going to do normal things, and you're going to live life normal and do what you want to do and do the same things that you would do if you weren't sick.
Definitely.
And I was just so passionate about that. I just wanted him to feel normal, because I know he hated when people treated him like he was sick or treated him like a little, oh, no, we got to be careful because, oh, we can't do this. Oh, he hated that.
Yeah.
My husband he had a lot of pride. He was like just a man, just a real, like, your definition of a man, right? So he didn't like that, and I didn't want to make him feel like that. So that was where a lot of the let's have a baby, let's get married, that's where that stemmed from. Like, would we be doing it if you weren't sick? Yeah, so let's do it, and the truth is, again, I just used to think that it's not going to happen to me. That's the truth. I just think, like, no, he's not going to die. Yes, he was sick. Yes, he's going to go through things. Yes, he may amputate his limbs. Yeah, but he's not going to die. Yeah. That's crazy. Don't be silly. My husband died? No way.
Because you never think that it's going to happen to you.
No, never, ever. Never, ever.
Well, I don't know if this is going to make you feel better, but so I don't know how long ago. I don't know if it was before Mick passed away. Maybe it might have been after Mick passed away. Yeah. So you know how, like, you're on Instagram and you're going through all these grief pages, and so I came across this lady who she was with this guy, and he was a surfer. I forget their name, but anyway, he's a surfer, and I can't remember if they got married, but they were I think they did get married. Anyway, he ended up going out into the ocean. He was surfing. Yeah. He died.
Oh. What?
He died. I don't know. Oh. I bought her book. I need to read it, but he passed away. I don't know. He had a surfing injury. I don't know. Something happened.
Okay.
He died. Okay.
Right. Okay.
She went, and, like, lawyers were, like, straight away onto it to extract his sperm.
Yeah, I've heard stories like that.
She did IVF.
Wow.
And had his baby.
Without him. Yeah, that's strong. That is strong.
Yeah. But needed affidavits from, like, the mum and, like, his mum, like, that's his not an mum, easy, his family. So I don't know, would people call her selfish?
For sure. If they're calling me selfish, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I don't know if it's selfish. I actually don't know. And I won't say no, it's not, just because it's me. I don't know. As I said in the last time we spoke about this, I'll know when he's older. He'll tell me if it was selfish.
He's not going to think it was selfish.
Well, if he struggles growing up without a father, then that's my answer. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's got, his uncles.
It's not a father.
No, but when he's older, they'd be a father figure to him.
Yeah, it's not like your dad though.
Yeah.
I don't think. I don't know. I'll find out in time. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't judge people like that lady that you just spoke about. Like, yeah, do you really?
Yeah.
Do whatever you want,
Yeah.
I guess. Just do anything, whatever you want to do. You know, one thing I've learned from Muhammad dying, I've learned a lot of things, right? But the biggest thing that I've learned is I feel like we're always like that, right? Everyone always has a comment to make. Everyone always has an opinion. Sometimes people's opinion affects you. Sometimes you do things or don't do things because of other people. When Muhammad died, for the first few weeks, everyone was around. It was full on. Everyone was around. Support, whatever you need, blah, blah, blah. That's great. 6 months, 1 year later.
Oh, no, gone.
Gone, right? Which is fine. I'm not angry at that. You do you. You live your own life. Everyone went back to their lives. Everyone forgot about him, forgot about him having a child and a wife, which is completely fine. But that just shows me, like, who gives a fuck what anyone thinks? Because as soon as you get buried beneath that dirt, nobody cares anymore. Nobody talks about you. You're lucky.
But so what's it to them then whether you had a child or not?
That's like, why
they're not in your life anyway.
But they're not self-aware like that. So I think it's important for you to just be like, you know what, fuck what anyone thinks. Who cares? It just doesn't matter because they're not going to care about you anyway. And you know what? I hear it so many times from people who haven't experienced a loss close to them. Oh, yeah, but nah, I've got good friends. Oh, but I'm really close to... I promise you.
Yeah,
it doesn't
talk to
matter
me in 6
how
months.
good your friends are and your cousins are and your family and your auntie. Nobody gives a fuck. My husband had amazing friends too. My husband had so many people at his funeral, a ridiculous amount of people at his funeral. He knew the whole of Sydney, right? From his job, from his personality, from whatever. My husband was very outgoing, whatever. He knew 1 million people. He knew people in other countries. Everything. Nobody gives a fuck after a while. So I know you really think, oh, but this person will visit me. That no one, they won't. I'm telling you, they actually won't. So just don't worry about them. Who cares what they think?
If you haven't listened to the Grief Train episode,
go back and listen to that. That was one of our earlier episodes. That was a really, really good one.
Yeah.
And talks more about that. But that's what I think. So with like, what is their name, Nadine? Sorry, you haven't come with facts.
Give me your phone.
Give facts, please. What do you need? Internet?
Instagram.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at anything. I'm going to stop talking. Why Instagram? Aren't you going to Google it? No, she knows her Instagram handle, but doesn't know anything else about the lady.
I'm just, I don't know if it's, no, that's not her.
Babe, Instagram's not going to help you, hon.
Yes,
you don't even know her name.
I know her name.
What is it?
They called him.
She has no idea, guys. I'm telling you. I know this girl.
Wait, I'm going to find this for you. Okay. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Where's Safari? Okay, here.
Told you needed Google.
Yes, okay.
Not Instagram. Wife takes sperm after surfing incident. Yes.
Surf incident. Okay, here. Oh, okay, yes. So her name, grieving girlfriend. No, so his name is Alex Chumpy Pullen.
Okay. But can you tell us her name?
Wait, is that her?
Jesus.
Oh, no, that was him. So he was spearfishing.
Oh, my gosh. He wasn't even surfing.
Her name is Elodie.
What?
Elodie?
Elodie. Oh, yeah. God. Nadine has not done her research.
No, he is a surfer.
Oh, okay, but he wasn't surfing at the time.
He's a 32-year-old Olympic winter sports athlete and world champion.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh.
Sorry, my bad. I thought he died surfing. But yeah, he was spearfishing on Palm Beach and he drowned.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay.
Yep. He had a shallow water blackout and was found on the ocean floor by a fisherman.
That's devastating.
Right. So his name, they called him Chumpy.
Okay. Okay. Well, as my point was.
There you go. That's the article. Read it later.
I will. Thank you. I will be. So this is confirmed, right? That this is the one that took the sperm. 100%?
Yes. So now Google her name.
What is her name?
Elodie
Vlog. Okay. Oh, yes. Look at this. Yes. Nadine's onto it, guys. She knows a little bit what she's talking about.
Sorry, I can't remember. It was a while ago.
No. Look. Elodie wasn't pregnant, but 15 months after Chumpy's death, gave birth to his baby. Minnie Alex Pullen, born October 21, had been conceived through IVF treatment. Wow, look at this.
Yes, see?
Using sperm that had been surgically retrieved from Chumpy's body hours after he died.
There was a certain window. There was a time frame, and they had to do it within that time frame. They couldn't wait.
I wonder how she got approval, though, to do it in that time frame.
Lawyers.
What, that in a few hours?
Yep.
Surely
I started reading her book, and from memory, she had said that it was the call that she made to the lawyer. Right. It was at a ridiculous hour because it needed to be done.
Wow.
It needed to be
done.
That's
amazing. Wow. How lucky that the lawyers were able to work that quickly to actually
and you know what, and to have his family approve it
on
as
her
well
side.
because
that's massive.
they needed
that's right and because she was a girlfriend, right? So they needed
I thought they got married.
Well, but that would have been probably a little bit harder for her as well to get all that approval since they weren't legally married as well. So
and I think she also had to prove that they both wanted children, that he wanted children and stuff like that.
You need to read her book and get back to us.
I will.
Summarize.
I will summarize and I'll report back.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Wow. Yeah, so situations like that, I just think, who cares what anyone thinks? I don't care what people think. I will care if it affects my son, not what people think, but not having a father if it really affects him. But apart from that, I don't really care what people say and they think because you're not in my position. So
that's right.
And, there's always that what if, right? Like, what if he didn't die? I wasn't going to stop living
life
because of what might happen. How long are we going to live like that for? Imagine I met him when he first got diagnosed and I had that mentality, and then he survived another 7 years and we wasted 7 years not moving forward, not starting a family, not doing anything. So you just never know.
What did the oncologist say when you told her you were pregnant?
Oh, look, she was happy, but like Debbie Downer happy.
But was she?
You know what I mean? Yeah, not really. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
We brought Hader to her too. Hader met her.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we brought him in for some meetings. A lot of meetings, actually, because that's it. As soon as we had Hader, we didn't have a choice. I used to go to all his meetings because I'm that nosy wife.
Yeah, same.
I don't know what's happening in here. Yep. So Hader used to come along, obviously. So she met him. It was nice, but I feel like she just, she's coming from a medical background.
Yeah.
She's looking at what's on the reports. These doctors obviously go off science, not God.
Of course.
Right? So it was just not a good idea for her.
How old was your son when he passed away?
7 months old. Yeah, 7 months old. So, he got a short amount of time with him, a really short amount of time. When you think about 7 months, it's really nothing, isn't it? 7 months is just nothing. But was just so in awe of him. Like, oh, babe, I can't even tell you. Just so hands-on. He would have made a really good dad, good dad. Like we always say, Hader missed out on having a really good father.
Yeah. Can I ask when, I don't know if I already asked this, but when the oncologist told you guys that it was a bad idea to do the IVF, how did Mohammed... what did he say to her? So I know that you didn't know how he felt about it.
Yeah.
But what did he say to her at that time?
I don't think I let him talk.
Okay.
I was just like the little chihuahua behind him. You know,
okay.
Look, Mohammed had a really great relationship, as you know, until the breakdown of their relationship. You'd think I'm talking about his wife. Wasn't
the oncologist.
His oncologist. They had a really great relationship, and then it ended really badly, unfortunately. But in the beginning, he had a lot of respect for her, a lot of love for her, right? This is a woman that when I first came into Mohammed's life, I didn't understand anything. I'd never known anyone to be sick that was close to me. I'd never experienced any of this. So for me, it was like, oh, she's telling you you're going to die. How can she? I was thinking from a very emotional perspective, right? Then I had to switch, okay? Because when I was doing that, Mohammed used to fight with me, and he used to be like, he used to take her side. I used to make jokes like me and my mum, like, oh, he's with his other wife, you know, he's at a meetings with his other wife. Like he would take her side over mine. If I spoke badly about her, we'd fight, babe, about it. And I'm like, what the fuck, right? So I switched very quickly because I knew that I needed to support him, and he didn't want that from me. He wanted that a different type of support, right? So I switched and I started listening to her. And to be honest, I stopped thinking from an emotional perspective and started using my brain rather, right? Mm-hmm. So when we were in those rooms and having those meetings, my number one was still to defend him though, right? It was still like I knew that things like that would hurt him, even though he didn't say it or show it. So I felt like I had to come and step in and be his defense in that situation. So when she would say things like that, I would just say, okay, but like, you know, we're religious people. We believe in God and we don't think that, you know, blah, blah, blah. Obviously to her, I sound like a fucking lunatic, right? Yeah. That's okay. I don't mind because I know these people generally like do not believe in God, right? They're very science-based, okay, which is totally fine. But I just felt like I always had to step in for him, so I would do so. And the only thing I remember him ever saying to me about the pregnancy and whether I wanted to go ahead with it or not was family related, not from the oncologist. It was like, look, I know my family really want to see us have a child, but no pressure. If this is something that you don't want to do, you tell me right now and I will shut it down from everyone. Because obviously his family want us to have a child, not just and nothing to do with him being sick actually. His family just wanted us to have a kid, right? They were happy for us, you know, that whatever. So that's the only thing he ever said to me was just from a family point of view. Like, if you don't want this, I know everyone's really on board and wants us to do this and whatever. You tell me now, I'll shut it down. You'll never hear it out of anyone's mouth again. So you let me know. And I was like, it was a quick convo. It was 2 minutes. I was like, no, babe, like I want to do this. I want to have a baby, blah, blah, blah. So that's it. He never really spoke about what, you know, they said, but I know it affected him. Of course it did. There would be many, many times where he would sort of break down just about like, I don't know how, like, I just don't know what you guys are going to do without me type of thing. Yeah. You know, he was very worried about that, more worried about that than he was about dying. Way more worried about that because he was so God-fearing and he was such a man of God. So his beliefs were super strong. So he wasn't worried about dying. He's like, no, like I've done my thing. I'm a good person. I follow our religion, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not worried about dying. I'm not worried about my afterlife. I'm worried about you guys here, you know. And I think
a part of that would be like leaving you guys behind.
Of course, absolutely. But I was very, you know me, I'm not emotional. I don't show, well, I'm not going to say I'm not emotional, but I don't show it. I just shut it down. I'm very like, I don't know, like just tough like that, you know. So I didn't let that, like, I wouldn't soften to that, you know. I don't know. I'm a bit hard like that, I think, to protect myself. You know what I mean?
That would be even a coping mechanism for you, I think.
Oh, we all know that. I haven't coped at all. I just pretend that I do.
Yeah.
You know, but even still now, like I just don't soften to that topic really. Like it's rare you'll catch me like sad, crying. Like I just block it. I just don't let myself get there.
You did the other day.
Yeah, I know. That was weird. Do you know how random that was? So this is what we talk about when we talk about like grief and how random it is and stages and whatever.
Yeah.
I went shopping, totally normal, but I get into the car of
You know what was really weird?
What?
I know this is going to sound crazy.
What?
But you and I like both had
a bad day on the same day.
I found that wild.
I know you had a bad morning. You were crying that morning. And I didn't know until after I said.
Yeah.
Right? So I get into the car. My son's in the back. Babe, I just start bawling my eyes. And I don't cry in front of Hader, right? So I didn't let him see. And I was like facing the other way, crying. But it was so short. It was like by the time I reversed out of the car spot.
You were done?
I was done. It was so weird, babe. It was literally like, I was in Hurstville Shopping Centre bawling my eyes out in the car park, right? There was no one around. I was proper tears, like break down. What the fuck is my life? Where's my husband? I miss him. Fuck this. I'm so over living like this, blah, blah, blah. Literally by the time I had backed out of that spot, I was like, okay, anyway, where are we going now? Okay, on to the next. But it was weird.
Did something so trigger quick. It?
No. Nah.
We were just pushing Hader in the pram, walking to the car, and then what?
I'd fucking put him in the car seat, shut the door, I was fine. Got him. I don't know.
Yeah. See how he just hits you sometimes?
It was weird. And I wasn't depressed for the rest of the day or sad for the rest of the day or down for the rest of the day. No, I just had that 2-minute total meltdown. Like if anyone saw me, babe, they would have thought, the fuck?
I would have thought she was crazy.
Totally. I would have looked like nut job. And then, just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was just like a whole, I don't know, sometimes it just really overwhelms you and you just break down, then you reconsider your whole life and you're like, what the fuck? Like your morning that you had was like similar, which was so weird that we had that on the same day.
It's crazy.
So random. Yeah.
Kayla messaged me and she's like, I cried. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, you didn't even want to know what happened to me today. Yeah. And I'm like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm fine now.
It was literally like, 90 seconds, babe. It was weird. But it happens. That's what happens with grief. You don't always have to you don't have to cry all day, every day to still be sad about someone.
And it just creeps up on you when you least expect it.
I know.
Like, of that as an example, you were going about your day, everything was fine, and then you jumped in the car and you cried. I literally woke up, everything was fine. I drove out of my driveway.
And everything was not fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean.
And like sometimes it just happens, nothing triggers it, just happens. Sometimes something does trigger it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just
I think a lot of the time things trigger.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And maybe I don't remember what triggered it or why. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. But I don't think anything did. But
no, I feel like you would have told me because I think I asked you.
Yeah,
did you get triggered by something?
I don't think anything actually happened that day.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It's just It's just grief, right? Like you just feel. It's weird. It's weird.
I know. It is weird.
You just start crying in the middle of nowhere.
You know what I thought about? So Kayla and I have a whole filming day that we're doing coming up.
Oh, yeah, with special guests. More special guests, guys. I'm excited about them. Yeah.
Yes, me too. That day's Valentine's Day. No, I don't give a shit about Valentine's
Day. Right. It is.
But it's the day Mick and I got engaged. So I'm just preparing you. I'm probably going to be an emotional wreck.
Okay, I'm glad I had
you know.
prep for that. Wow, you got engaged on Valentine's Day. That's really cute. That's really cute. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Valentine's Day. I feel funny.
Oh, we'll just hug each other.
Makes you, all day. Well, as usual, it's fucking you. To be honest. Yeah, I don't know. It makes me a little bit funny, Valentine's Day.
That's okay. We've got
everyone,
each other.
Loving everyone.
We've got each other.
Yeah. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Do you want to add anything else to that?
No, I think that's covered. I mean, I think most of the questions were just around, the process and how I felt and support. And I think a lot of people maybe thought Muhammad wasn't around, like physically he was, but as in actually there, but he was. It was like a really normal birthing experience. He was there. I felt supported. He was incredible. We did everything. We did the birthing classes like beforehand together. Yeah, I've got really funny videos of him like doing a nappy and it was funny. It was good. He was so great. Like, everything was perfect, to be honest. Like I can't say anything. I don't think I struggled more or less than anyone else in that time. Any other woman that's pregnant and, you know, going through hormones as we do. Obviously, a little bit more emotional because
of course.
someone's dying. But not, I don't think it's what people that were asking the questions thought that it would be like, you know. And a lot of people actually were really surprised that I did IVF with my son. They were like, oh, I didn't know that you, like people that sort of know me or clients or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, had no idea that I'm so open about it, especially with clients, because so many of my clients have either family members or children or struggle themselves going through the IVF process. And I always give out the clinic that I went to because I think they were so amazing. And so a lot of people, didn't know, but I'm super open about it. I don't feel like there's any, I don't know, sometimes is there like, I feel like some people make it out like there is sort of a stigma around it, but I feel like I don't care.
IVF?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's normal,
I feel like it's not as taboo anymore. Like maybe back in the day, people would, you know, kind of hide it. But now, I don't know. I feel like it's so spoken about. And it's recommended that people speak about it, you know, because so many people want to know.
I think it's completely like normal, you know. And I think like, you know, I used to definitely get weird looks because I was really young at the time. I don't know when I started doing IVF.
Did the IVF clinic know what was happening?
Absolutely, yeah.
And what did they say?
Nothing. No judgment, no comments, no nothing like that. I guess they sort of just wanted to know like, hey, you're like 22 or 21, or 22, I think. Why are you here, you know? And again, from looking at him, he looked totally normal. So I think it was just weird for them. Like, why are you guys deciding to do this? Like, you're super young, you look healthy.
And you obviously just told them, like, you know.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, told them everything. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and they know once they get your medical reports and stuff, they know that you can't conceive
and I think you've missed something out.
What?
You still have embryos.
Oh, yeah, I know. I do. So here's the thing, right? I'd love to know.
Oh, did you want to say
opinions? Oh, yeah. No, I'm cool with it.
I'm
it's fine.
Like sharing your personal information. I just think it's so cool. I love it.
So here's the thing, right? With that, a big question that I get a lot from clients that know that I have or friends ask me a lot.
I asked you.
Yeah. So there's no particular reason as to why we have embryos aside from the fact that we just produced a high amount of obviously look, for us, it was most likely, I mean, obviously with God's will, but it was not going to be difficult because I was young. I was very, very young. And again, his sperm was from when he was like 20 something. Do you know what I mean? So we're both young, both fit, both healthy, etc. Right? So that's the only reason we have all these embryos, because obviously we produced enough eggs and they matched, and you know, whatever the process is. So you store them right in the freezer for when you want to use them next. So, you know, what do you do? Okay, so people ask me this all the time. Would you have a child without him? Do you?
Yeah, so you would be like Pullen.
Babe, is his name Pullen? I don't think.
The guy's name is Pullen.
Are you sure? Okay.
Chumpy Pullen. Alex Chumpy Pullen.
Okay, all right, you're good.
Yes.
You know names. Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be like Pullen.
No, but like the situation like Elodie.
Fuck. Oh my God, you're so good with names. How did you just, wow.
Yes, that's her name.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah.
I meant like the Pullen situation.
Yeah. Well, not even that, maybe.
You know what I fucking mean.
All right. Anyway.
Elodie.
Yeah.
Her situation.
Do what Elodie did, right? So I get that question a lot. Do you do it? do you not do it? Would you do it? Would it be weird if you did it with a new partner? Like, what the fuck,
I once asked Kayla this question.
What did I say?
Oh, I said
my
to you. My
answers always change. You know me.
I said to her, if you meet someone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Would you do that?
What did I say?
You
can say it. We can beep it out if it's fucked up.
No, it's not fucked up. But you were like, wouldn't that be weird?
Oh, yeah, that's still because you know me, I change every month. I'm a new person every month, right? I don't know how someone would feel about that. And to be honest, I mean, I was going to say I wouldn't, but we know I'm not getting with a widower, right? We've already made that clear. See, this is why I can't, because do you see? I was just thinking, imagine a guy asked to, no, we couldn't because it's a guy, right?
What?
Could we use his embryo with his if a guy had a frozen embryo, could we use that?
Yeah, isn't it frozen already?
Who's having the baby? Me? I'm not having your deceased wife's
I
kid.
didn't say you.
No, I know, but yeah, well, he can't have it. Who would have it?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Me or a surrogate. Oh, okay. So would I do that? No, but we all know I wouldn't date a widower, right?
No, you wouldn't.
And that's my problem. I'm not cool. I'm not chill. Do you know what I mean? I'm not reasonable.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not. Yeah. I don't have that in me. So anyway, okay, I think it would be, I think that's a lot on a person. You know, we always say someone to date us would have to be a certain type of person, right? Because it's not easy to be with a widow. But I think you're asking for a lot here.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, imagine you meet someone and then you're pregnant with your husband's child.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's cases. There would be people out there that have done it. Write in, please. I'm so interested. I'm so nosy. I'm so fucking nosy. Write in and tell me your stories. But I don't know. I don't. But then do you throw them? It's a big fucking call. What do you do? Keep them forever?
You don't fucking throw them.
So what do you do with them?
You have another baby.
What, by yourself or with the guy?
No, by yourself.
No. I think I'm putting it on the record. I don't think I'll do that. By myself.
Yeah.
No. Hospital on my own.
No, I'll come
birth on my own.
No, I'll be with you.
Oh, fuck me. Nadine's like, oh, God. Oh, my God. What if you're having a bad day? You'll put me off.
I will still come with you and support you.
I know you would, but you put me off.
Why would I put you off?
I don't know. What if you're going through your moment?
I would put that on hold for you, bitch.
I love you. I appreciate it. I know you would, but I don't, babe. I don't think I want to do that. I love you. I don't think I want to do that. You know, because then I'm even more miserable because I'm like, look at me giving birth and Nadine's here.
What do you guys think Kayla should do?
I don't know. I personally don't think I would be able to do the whole single mum
Let me say something. Her bipolar's kicked in because not long ago when I asked her that question, she was like, yeah, one day I will.
No.
That's what you said to me.
Nadine doesn't listen. No.
Excuse me?
Not one day I will. I might. I did say I will. I've never said that.
Did.
No. Just don't believe her. What I will say is
don't believe her.
I would love to give Hader a sibling. I would love to be able to give him a sibling. I'm so...
Can you imagine what people are going to say about you then?
Yeah, I know. I'm so tired of people. But I look at your situation and I think it's so nice that your kids have each other for when they grow up. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I think that's so beautiful. It's beautiful. And I would love to be able to give that to him, but I don't think I could be a single mum again. Yeah. And like fully single from the start. What that lady did is... Yeah. That's not easy. No, it's not. Mean, look, a single mum is hard when you have an ex-husband. Do you know what I mean? Or a baby daddy out there. It's hard. Yeah. To not have any support from day one from your partner, I don't know. I don't think I would be able to do that. Yeah. But I would like to give Hader a sibling. But then I also don't. I think that would be a little strange to have my husband's child with my new husband. I don't know.
So strange.
Yeah, I think that's just my opinion though. You do you. But I don't know. I feel like that would be weird. But then, so what do you do? Do you keep them frozen? For what, till I die? And then who do they go to?
I don't know. You write them in your will, yeah?
Oh, don't be.
You do?
To who? Who am I writing? No. Do you? No, can't be legal.
That is legal.
So what, if I wrote them to my son, what, him and his wife could have my... Don't be silly now. You're being ridiculous. You could donate them. No, but then they're my kids. No. You don't. You don't donate them.
You could. I don't know. I've heard of cases where they write them in the will. Am I wrong? I swear.
Who told you? I've heard of cases. Which case? Babe, who told you they wrote their embryos in their will?
I swear I have.
Who? Where'd you hear it?
So, the guy can either write...
What guy, babe?
I'm telling you, this is what I've heard.
But where did you hear it from? Who?
Can't remember from who. But listen, you will know once I explain.
Yeah.
They can write, like, for example, the guy can write, when I pass, I don't want it. That's it. Gone.
Yes. But you're saying give them to someone.
Or he can put it in his will to say that he gives them to his wife. Google it right now.
To his wife?
Google it.
The wife with the kids?
For example, yes.
The embryo was mum.
Yes.
No, that's different, babe.
That's what I'm talking about.
My husband's dead, babe. I can't write them to him. I'd have to write them to someone. Do you want my embryos? Who am I going to give them to?
No. For example, in your will, you can say discard them.
Okay, so
is that the word?
Yeah, discard them. Yeah. Okay, so what if I'm going to wait till I die to get rid of them? Why wouldn't I get rid of them now? I'm not saying this is not for me. I'm just asking a question.
Because maybe one day,
and you don't want to regret it because once they're gone, they're gone.
Maybe one day you do want to.
Yeah. Fuck. It's a big decision. It's not an easy decision to make, and I think about it a lot, to be honest. It's something that just hovers around, I think about it a lot because it's like, it's one of those things that, fuck, once it's gone, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? You can't get it back. Literally, you can't get it back,
No.
So it's like, what's the right thing to do? I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe you just keep them until you die and then you just...
Or until, like, you're 100% certain about your decision.
But, will you ever be 100%?
I think
you'd be
you
like
will.
99, but I still feel like there'd be that one thing you need that's like, fuck, what if I change my mind in 5 years? What? You know me. I change my mind every week about everything in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think
I
could make that decision. I think it's a big decision to make.
What do you guys think? Let us know.
What do you guys think? I feel like a lot of people would be like, have another baby, I've heard that a lot. They're like, no, just do it.
What has his family said?
No one really has an opinion.
Yeah.
One person said like they'd like me to. I don't think anyone has an opinion though because it's so personal, right? It's
they just support whatever decision you made.
Who can really tell you? No one can tell you have a baby, don't have a baby. At the end of the day, it's my life. But I don't know. I just think a lot of the people though that do say, oh, go on, do it, have another one, probably haven't gone through an entire pregnancy and giving birth and raising your child from zero on their own.
Yeah, I know.
It's a big decision to make. It's not easy. So that's another interesting part of the IVF journey, right? When you lose your partner and you do still have embryos, it's what do you do with them, really? I know, it's hard. It's a big decision. Yeah. And right now, I'm not making any decisions. No, I'm just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, sit on it.
Yeah. And they, I've asked them before, like I said to the lady, probably like not a year ago, maybe like 8 months ago. Like I said to her, she's just the office lady at the clinic. I'm like, what do I do? What do you think I should do? She's like, oh, I can't give you that advice. I'm like, I know, but what do you reckon? She's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. Like maybe you should speak to a therapist. Maybe you should get advice from, and I'm like, I know, but what would you do? She's like,
did you?
Yeah, I know, but I don't know why. I just thought, I don't know. What's everyone doing these days?
Yeah.
The general like consensus in that place, you know? But obviously she can't give out any advice to me. It's like a legal thing. But yeah, I don't know. For now, I'll just keep them hanging out, chilling, literally. Yeah, I don't know. That's such a big decision.
Yeah,
it is. So huge. See, all these things that we talk about that you don't think about when someone passes away, right? Everyone always thinks about just, the person must be so sad, or all these decisions that you have to make. And you know, that's one thing that I never asked Mohammed. I don't think I ever asked him about,
what do you want me to do?
What do you want? Yeah. What do you want? And I'm pretty sure, have I asked him? I actually don't remember, but I don't think, we didn't have a proper
plan.
No, not at all. I don't think he would mind really what I decide to do. I think if I decided to have another one of his children, he wouldn't mind. And if I didn't, then he would have respected that too, you know. And the only benefit really is like, my kids have the same mum and dad. That's right. Massive to me, right? That's so big. Like, but yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah. I also wouldn't expect someone to be okay with that either, because I wouldn't be. So I can't expect someone else to be. I don't know. But there are people out there definitely that people surprise us every day, right?
Well, like that's right.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm hoping we've answered your questions, guys, around like the IVF stuff, more about IVF and being with someone sick and then death, not really the IVF process. I don't even remember that process. It was such a blur. It was just a lot it was a blur. So hopefully we've answered everything that you guys want to know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well,
we'll be back.
Yes, it was. It was good. We'll be back next week with more. Next week? Yeah.
Yes.
What am I thinking? Of course we'll be back next week, guys. As always, Married Now Widowed on all platforms. If you're grieving or you're a support person for someone that's grieving, don't forget to join our Facebook page at Married Now Widowed. Any questions, comments, things you want to know, everything, please hit us up. Even stories that you want to send in. We love hearing your stories. They're so interesting. Unfortunate, but we love to hear about that and kind of connect with you guys. And I know a lot of people use our platform in the DMs as a way to just let off steam and, you know, if they're going through something. So continue to do that. We don't mind at all. And we will get around, by the way, to your DMs. I know that we still have some.
Yeah, we just get so many.
And it's not like we will get around. We try our best to answer every single one, especially Nadine. Nadine is wake up. Paragraphs, essays, conversations that she's been having with like random people across the country. I'm like, babe, like what? It's crazy, but we love it. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.